Hey guys, and welcome to another video here. So today I am going to be looking at a gift that was sent to me. This gift was sent to me by Anya from Achatfell. Achatfell is her Instagram name and YouTube channel name. I will leave the links to both of those down in the description bar below. So, she sent me a watercolour pan to try. She recently started making her own paints and is in the making process. I don't believe they're yet for sale, but I'm sure she'll update you on her Instagram when they are. Her specialty is neon colours, and she's crafted a neon pink, and according to the note that she sent me, this pink is made from the pigment powder, the Pinkest pink. For those of you who do not know, the Pinkest pink is a pink paint made by a British artist who crafted his own bright pink, and scientifically it's the pinkest pink that you can make, and so far nobody has made a pink that is brighter than this pigment. So we're going to take a look at it. She's poured the paint into a Schminke half pan. I just realised at this point how much smaller the Schminke half pans are compared to normal ones. I've never had a Schminke half pan before, so this was new to me. The paint is a firm cake. It doesn't feel dry, it's not cracked, it's just nice and smooth. So I'm going to do a number of tests with her pink and see how it all turns out. Now most people would have used the colour Opera Rose, which is a very bright neon pink with a fluorescent dye in it. This pink will be even brighter and more pinker than Opera Rose, so I'm interested to see how it will all look. So I'm going to swatch the colour out. The paint re-wets quite well. It didn't take too much scrubbing to get some colour from the pan. I'm going to paint a high concentration of colour at the top of the line and blend it out with clear water. This way you can see the highest concentration of colour and how it will behave in a wash. So what the lightest tone will be, what the mass tone will be, and as well how the paint will flow into that clear water. And as well you will see how transparent or opaque this paint is. The paint has pretty good flow. It flowed nicely into the water. It's not the most lively pigment I've seen in water, but it doesn't lie there dead. So I am going to perform another few tests here. I'm going to perform a water droplet test to see how this paint reacts when water is dropped into it. I'm also going to do a salt test, so sprinkling some salt into a wet patch of paint, and I'm going to do a dispersion test where I drop the paint into a clear wash of water to see how it behaves. Bright neon pink has lovers and haters out there in the watercolour world. I did do a video exploring this paint in more detail and comparing it to some other bright pinks. Not specifically the one that Anya sent me, but Opera Rose. And you can see that I will leave a link to that up in the iCards, so you can go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. If you are enjoying this content on this channel, please consider hitting the thumbs up button and leaving a small comment down below. It really does help and I really appreciate it, so thank you. If you would like to continue your support, please consider checking out my Patreon page and my personal website, where you can find more from me, such as added blog posts and also my handmade paint and coupons on Patreon. Bright pink can be a very useful colour. It can make some really nice oranges and violet colours. It's definitely left my water a very nice pink colour. This paint that Anya has sent me is a decently pigmented paint, has a good colour from the paint. It's not weak, it's pretty good and has a nice look to it. I am going to do some colour mixing and mix it with colours that I would normally mix this with, and I'm going to do a swatch of Opera Rose next to it to see how bright it is in comparison. One thing to note with neon colours is usually they're not very light fast. They will fade within 30 years roughly. However, anybody purchasing neon paint or Opera Rose kind of colour paints know what they're getting themselves in for, and this should not be a surprise to them. However, if you're new to painting with colours like this, that's just some information for you. This pink does create some very nice oranges, and they're also kind of pinky oranges. They're very nice and soft and bright. The colours that I mixed this with are yellow, red, green, blue and violet. They all made very interesting mixes, all the way from oranges to reddy pinks to violets, soft violets and a neutral as well. Opera Rose is very helpful when colour mixing. It can create nice, bright, vibrant mixes that another colour cannot simply achieve. So I'm going to tell you a little bit now about Anya. Anya is in Austria, who is also a watercolour painter and paints very colourful artwork and very fun artwork. She is also a bona fide cat lady and is a huge lover of cats, and I believe is doing something cat based for Inktober this year. She's definitely worth checking out over on her Instagram and YouTube channels. So I'm going to do a glazing and lifting test now, see how the paint layers and lifts. It glazes absolutely fine, really nicely, and adds another depth of colour on top. Now, despite being bright pink, it also lifts very easily. I can nearly get the paper back to white on the first go. And after 2 more goes of sweeping my brush over, it is nearly white. There is a slight pinkish tinge to the paper, and I'll show you that in a close-up. So we're going to take a closer look now at the page, and you can see that compared to the Opera Rose, the neon pink is much more pink. In fact, the Opera Rose almost looks violet in comparison. It did react positively to all the tests. Water droplets did push the paint out a little bit. The paint is a little bit opaque, not massively. There is a small deposit on that black line where I applied the high concentration of paint. There is some reaction to the salt, and the paint did disperse a little bit in water. The paint lifts very nicely and glazes very well, and makes a range of colour mixes, particularly a very nice neutral when mixed with a phthalo green down the bottom left. So a huge thank you to Anya from Achatfell who sent me this paint. Again, I'll leave all the links down in the description bar to her channel and Instagram, as well as a few other links about myself and other supplies used in this video. So I really hope you enjoyed watching. Hopefully I shall see you in the next video. Make sure to check out the iCards as well for some extras. So take care and bye bye.